My name is Melissa, and I'm a museum educator with the Boonshoft Museum of Discovery. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful day at our Culver Pond, found on our property at our museum. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about an area of water called a watershed. Now, watersheds are any area that can be as small as potentially a tributary or little creek to as large as multiple rivers. And what watersheds are they are the catches of precipitation. So watersheds catch precipitation and move water throughout the land or terrestrial environment until that water finds more water. Culver Pond behind me is an example of a part of a watershed. So precipitation falls down from the sky and can land directly in our pond or on the ground. If it lands on natural ground like grasses, dirt, sand, any natural substrate you can think of, it will go through a process of either infiltration, which is where it goes into the ground, or as the ground becomes saturated or full of water, run across the top of the land into catches. This pond acts as a catch where water from the uphill area and surrounding area collects together. It can stay in this pond for a long time, return to the water cycle as part of evaporation, or if it continues infiltrating underneath the pond, it can actually go into another portion of this local watershed in the river just beyond the road behind me.
Well, hello, my name is Courtney Reed. I am the manager of school programs here at the Boonshoft. So Melissa talked a little bit about some real life examples of collection areas in our watershed. Let's look at another example of an area called a wetland that is also in a watershed. A wetland is where water is almost always present, either on the soil or right underneath the soil. But wetlands act like a sponge and soaks up a lot of the extra water that could be part of flooding. Wetlands also filter out any extra pollution or any solids that are in the watershed as well. And they also provide a great, unique habitat for the baseline organisms on the food chain, such as baby insects and baby fish. This is an example of one of the collection areas in a watershed, a stream. So think about if this is where our construction site is, that we want to build a building. And what we want to do, we want to build a house, all right? This is my house. I'm going to build it on some concrete. And what happens to it? Well, it gets flooded, right? Because nothing is there to absorb it. Nothing is there to absorb the extra water that is going to come from that precipitation. So here's my sponge. It's going to represent the wetlands that are going to help with flooding, but also it's going to help with water filtration as well. And as you can see, it's able to stay